Hello guys, welcome back to another video. Now if you're a long time viewer of mine, you might remember I looked at the WASD 88 code keyboard quite a little while ago actually now. But after looking on their site and kind of the custom keyboards they offered, I asked them to see if they'd be interested in providing me one to show all you guys, as there's such a massive potential on what you can do to make your own custom keyboard. I thought it was something that you guys would definitely be interested in seeing. So today I've got a WASD V2 105 key custom mechanical keyboard to show you. But how I'm going to lay this out is I'm going to show you around the custom keyboard that I designed and the different features that they offer. And then at the end I'll show you how to customize your own keyboard and then all the different options you've got. So you just get a plain box for this, nothing fancy. We don't really need anything fancy for this anyway. Then included in the box you've got some instructions to how to change the settings on the back. I'll talk to you about that later. We've also got a keycap puller, which is nice, as WASD offer full replacements of all the keycaps available on their store. A plain micro USB cable that's got a Velcro wrap. A PS2 adapter if you're an OG and you still use that. And then a nice WASD sticker as well. Now using that PS2 adapter you can get a true N key rollover, otherwise you get a modified 6 key rollover with USB. Now if you wish as well you can have media shortcuts actually added onto your keyboard, which I've done, and here is my custom keyboard. So I went for a very simple kind of MKBHD themed, a lot of people will probably say, kind of theme for it, but I think black and red just works no matter what you apply it to. So for this case I kept all the modifier buttons just black, and then every other key just red, as well as the escape key. The escape was black by default, but I just wanted to add a little bit of colour into the corner. Another thing you'll also notice with the WASD keyboards, there's no branding on them whatsoever. So unless someone wants to ask who makes that keyboard, obviously it's the only way they're going to find out. Obviously, unless they know the brand previously. I also went without the Windows keys as well. You do have an option to take those off, and personally I like them black, so obviously I went with that there. Obviously then if I use it on my MacBook as well, it means there's no mismatched keys. Now the keycaps are made by ABS plastic, and also the actual main base of the keyboard has a texture that doesn't gather up fingerprints, which is nice as well. A lot of other keyboards I've found do have this, so nice to see that they've addressed this on this one. So for the number scroll and caps locks, it's just a very simple red LED. I really like this actually, quite a nice minimal design. Definitely makes it look nice and clean. So if you didn't guess already, the micro USB cable included is detachable. I've actually used the one from my last WASD keyboard. It's literally lived behind my desk for the entire time since I've reviewed it. So I used that cable rather than the new one. As you can see there, I've put it on and off my desk quite a bit, so it's got a little bit worn. Then the back of the keyboard has 5 different exits for your cable to route, so you can adjust it to how you want it on your desk. Some people might prefer it coming from the left hand side, or out straight out the back, or the right. Obviously you've got different options there. Also on the back you've got the dip switch, which you can change your various modes of function for the keyboard. So you can go for standard QWERTY, you can change it into Mac, Dvorak, Colmac. You can have caps locks button disabled if you want. You can also disable the Windows keys, menu keys and scroll lock. Change all of those things on there as well. You can also turn your media keys on just by flicking the 6th one. So obviously I've done that as I've got media keys. That function is available there anyway. You don't actually have to have them printed on the keys if you don't want to. I'll cover that later in the video. Last but not least, on the bottom of the keyboard we've got the adjustments if you want to raise the typing height slightly. That is rubber coated as well, and it will stay put on your desk if you're wiggling it about. Also a nice little touch is at the bottom end of the keyboard there is a different angle rubber pad for when you have got it adjusted up, just to make sure it's going to stay put. Now minus the parts that are obviously made in Taiwan as on the label. All of these are actually assembled in the USA, so needless to say, you guys that are in the USA will get your keyboards obviously a lot quicker than if they were to ship from Taiwan. So pulling off the keycaps, it shows you the cherry brown switch that's underneath. No backlighting or anything like this, it's just kind of a bare bones key. But personally I think it is nice to have something that's not RGB. That's kind of the craze these days, and I think actually to have something that doesn't light up is a welcome change. So they do offer different kinds of switches available. I will show you those in a minute, but first let's give you a little sound sample so you can see how this will sound on your desk. So personally for me, I do find it a little bit louder than other cherry brown keyboards that I do have, but I think I actually welcome this. I actually do like the sound this produces, be it slightly louder. But browns are the kind of go-to key that I find for myself anyway. Just works really well for gaming and then typing as well. You don't get the click from the blues or anything like that. It just has a slightly different feel to reds as well. So if I'm going to be using a keyboard for, multiple things, I'll just go for the browns. Now, although I've spoken about using cherry browns, I'm familiar with all the different kind of keys and what they offer. But for a new person in the mechanical keyboard market, it can be very daunting. But WASD can help you here with their cherry key sampler. This has the 6 most common types on a board So then you can go ahead and see which one you prefer before you dedicate it to an entire keyboard. Now bear in mind they do have all different actuation points. I will link an article in the description box below that has kind of all the information you need to know. So before going all out on a keyboard, I would recommend getting one of these to try it. So going from left to right, we've got the blue, brown, black, red, white and green switch, but this will give you at least a sound sample before you actually give it a go yourself. So moving on to the website, this is where you're obviously going to customize your own keyboard to your heart's content. There's so much you can do on this, so just bear with me as we go through it all. So I've gone for obviously an international as I'm in the UK that has the bigger enter key. So your first option is going through your switches, grab a key tester if you're not sure. They also have the speed switch on there as well, which is basically a shorter actuation of the reds. You've also got silent reds on there, which are basically the same as reds but just dampened for sound. Then you've got options to install the sound dampeners on all of the keys if you wish. So if you want a bit of a softer feel or even to just quiet them down. Then you can upload a custom design onto it if you want to, or I'll show you a gallery in a minute that has some different designs that people have done. Then it's just a case of customizing the keyboard. So literally select a color, then you can individually click each key or just go through certain ones, so alphanumeric or even the modifiers, which is kind of all your function, shift, caps locks, all of those kind of keys. Pick the layout that you're going to use. So obviously I went for the UK because I'm in the UK. Other countries and options are available. For the function keys I went for the modern and then the media keys, as I like to know which does what. You can keep that blank if you want. As I did say, you can still use the media keys without those actually shown on the keys. Then just blanked out the OS key as I said before. Further down the page is a bit more options about what you can do for different switch options. Then just going over pretty much what I've covered in this video. Now if you want to be brave, you can order a custom blank set, so if you want to kind of learn where the keys are without looking, that's something you could always do. They do offer full replacements of colours and also different kind of patterns, so it's literally the world is your oyster as far as customization goes. If you look at the gallery, there's other creations that people have done. If you want to get a little bit of inspiration, even check out the Flickr page, which has got an absolutely massive album as well. So summing this up is pretty easy. I've used this for longer than any keyboard I think that's been on my desk. If you go back through my videos, you'll see it on more than any other. So I have gone back to it on multiple occasions after reviewing a different keyboard. I love the build quality. It weighs over a kilo, so it's very well built, absolutely solid. I do love the key feel. Playing games and typing just is a great combination together. The browns I think, obviously helps towards that. If you're going to go typing only and you don't mind a bit of noise, then go for maybe the blues, or if you're purely a gamer, then go for the reds. Colour wise, I think the red is a little bit orange, but that's just my graphical side being very picky. I do like the texture and the feel of the keyboard and the actual keys as well. I think they're definitely going to be wear resistant for a long period of time. The minimal style as well I think is really nice. Just having no branding is a nice touch. It is a custom keyboard, so you need to bear in mind it will be a little bit more expensive than general keyboards on the market that offer the same functionality. But that being said, it is unique to you obviously. Other people can make it, but it's something that you have to put some time and attention in, which I think is a nice detail. The removable micro USB cable in the channeling I think is really nice. I would like to see a braided USB cable though, just as it's kind of a bit nicer than just a plain generic one. If you were wondering, they do optional wrist rests in their store. Now for me, I do like a wrist rest on a keyboard, but for this one I didn't find any discomfort without one, so not necessarily something that I needed. But apart from that, I think that's pretty much all I've got to say on this keyboard. Absolutely fantastic. I will put a link down in the description box below if you want to grab one for yourself. So a big thank you for WASD for sending this out for me to review. If you haven't subscribed already, do it! Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.